Hi, everybody. Hola, coaches. So, today, I'm coming here today to ask you a very important question, and one that you should ask yourself ever so often. So, I want you to score. So, if you joining me later on, put hashtag replay in the comments so I know that you seen this replay. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If there's anybody live, please, I'm here to answer your questions if you have any, what I'm going to talk to you today. So today we're going to talk about the internal and external challenges that face coaches on a daily basis. So let's start. I've got a really important question for you right now. Maybe you're still in your 9 to 5. Maybe you've left without building the foundations. So score to me from 1 to 10, 1 being not really, not that important, and 10 being really important. The question is, how important do you believe to be? Let me how important is it for you? Do you believe that is important to build foundations for your business? Okay, so I'm going to start with myself. For me, it's like a 9, but it's a 9 right now. When I started my business, I didn't have a clue what foundations were, right? So when I started my business, it was probably like not important. All I wanted was to get clients and get my business visible. And I was not really 1 ounce concerned with building foundations for my business. So to be honest with you, and for transparency reasons, when I started my own business, when I left my 9 to 5 and started my own business, I didn't have the foundations. But now I know better. And I know that it's really important if you can start the foundations from day one. Day one. However, right, I'm going to focus, and I've got some notes here. So if you see me reading, it's just to keep me on track. Without this point that I'm going to talk about you before I go into the internal and external challenges that you're facing right now, without these points that I'm going to talk, it's going to be a little bit difficult to navigate the murky waters of the online world. So first and foremost, ask yourself, who are you selling to? And this is really important because, and I'm going to give an example of myself. In the beginning, I really didn't care who I was selling to. I was selling to everybody. I did not have an avatar as such, an audience as such. And I also had a very big scarcity mentality that if I target everybody, maybe somebody will work with me. So this is really important because once you know exactly who you're talking to, your messaging and your positioning is going to explode. Another thing that you really need to find out is, why do you do what you do? Why? What's the purpose of you wanting to start your own business? What's the purpose of your coaching business? Why you do what you do? And this is really important because you need to dig deep into the why would your potential clients need your services. And I've got another article on my website, increasesocialreach.com, my blog, that talks about the fact that we live in our heads and not be able to see why. This why, it's really important, not just for you, but you need to also understand why your customers, your prospects will want what you have to offer. So there is another question that I want to shout out to you right now. It's what are the inner and outer challenges that your ideal audience is going through? And I'm going through some examples of myself and that I've encountered throughout these years. But what are they feeling? What are they thinking? What are they doing? What are they not doing? So this is really important. How does their external world look like to them? And I'm going to talk about this further on. And let me just go into the next question that you need to ask yourself. You need to figure out exactly what do you provide your clients. If you do not have an offering in place, a package in place, a service in place, when they are when they're coming to you, you've got nothing to offer. So this is not a business, right? And that's why building the packages is really important. And also, in the beginning, for me, I'm going to talk about my example. In the beginning, I had loads of services to offer because, again, I was scared that I wouldn't have enough to offer to them, right? This is all like all these pillars, all these questions that I'm asking you right now are really, really important. And have you done your client journey roadmap? You really need to figure out from day one, right, where they're at and what are the stages that they need to take to get to the other side. Let me just take this out of the way. So think about, you need to figure out, after I've talked about the inner and outer challenges that are going through, this is where they're at the moment, right? Then you need to figure out as well, where do they want to be and why do they want to be there? And all you need to do then is create the stages that are going to take them from A to B to C to D. And they reach their end result, the maximum transformation that they want, right? And why is this client journey important? It is important because your prospects and your clients need you to guide them towards these stages. You are the guide. You, coach, educator, teacher, consultant, you are the guide that are going to take them along all these stages. And they're already overwhelmed. Where they're at, they're already overwhelmed. They have the internal and external challenges that I'm talking about. They already have that, right? So you don't want to create more overwhelm for them. You want them to go through the stages with ease and peace and happiness, right? So they can reach the end goal, the end result, the extraordinary, phenomenal transformation that they're looking for. This is like the ultimate why for them. Right. Another question is, what is your positioning statement? And this doesn't have to be complicated. The positioning statement is very simple in lame terms, as simple as possible for other people to understand what you do and how you do it, right? And what is the result of it. And this is what you need in your statement, in your positioning statement. That's all. How do you want others to see you as well? And because how you want others to see you is how you're going to attract them to you. So I'm all about empowering coaches to take the leap from 9 to 5. So I want them to see me taking action and stepping out of my comfort zone so that they can be empowered to do more and to take the leap, right? How are you behaving to uphold your brand values and mission? And this is really, really a pertinent question, because your values and your mission, it's what is going to attract them to you. So, for example, some of my values are creativity. I believe that we are all creators in a body. And therefore, everything that I do it creatively. And also, passion is another brand value. Everything that I do it really passionately, and I'm very expressive. So, yeah. So all your values, you need to be really in tune and aligned with your values, and you need to show others how you uphold them. Who do you stand for? Basically, this is what it is. And my final question is, what is your passionate message? So you have to really figure out and structure what is your passionate message. Forgive me, my English, but this is really important, because this is going to speak directly to your potential audience and solve the problems that they are facing right now. Okay, so let's go into the internal and external challenges that they are facing, because we need to really make a list of maybe your current clients, maybe dig deep into your avatar. Who do you want to attract to you, and what are they going through right now? So what they're going through right now internally. So let's start with internally, because this is, I think this is the most important one. Externally is good as well, but internally, this is all about what they're thinking, what the nagging thoughts that they're having, what they're feeling, what emotions are they going through. So, for example, if they are still sitting in a 9 to 5, like I was once, wondering, can I do this? And then the other side of their brain, the gremlin, starts going like, no, you don't want to do that. You're going to lose the stability of your wages. You are going to face all these people that are going to judge you. They are going to start talking about you behind your back. This is what they're going through internally, their thoughts, their emotions, right? And to talk about like emotions, when I was still in my 9 to 5, I had actually physical pain in my body because I was so stressed out, really very stressed out. And I had physical pain in my stomach. I used to have all this horrendous pain coming from my stomach into my throat. And one day, it was hilarious, because one day I was actually alone at home. My kids and my husband were in Portugal on holiday, and I was at home, and I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning thinking that I was going to have a heart attack. because I couldn't breathe. And the pain was so intense that it was making me even worse. Obviously, the next day, I had to call work and say, I'm sorry, I can't come in today because I haven't slept well. I've got a pain in my stomach. I don't feel good. So this is internally, not just the thoughts, but also they are going through some pains physically because of the stress that they are facing right now. So some of the questions that I've had, and I'm reading because I've got certain things that I need to go through within the internal challenges. So one of them, the first one is self-doubt. People do not believe that they can achieve what they want to achieve. So they say things like, who is going to listen to me? I'm not an expert in this matter. I don't know enough to make an impact. So this is all around self-doubt. They are not believing they are capable. Another thing is lack of confidence. And they say things like, I don't have enough followers to build a group community, for example, right? And some of these statements, I said that myself. Even though I'm a very extrovert person, I do also have some limiting belief of self-confidence, right? Another one is a low self-esteem. What if my members don't engage and my group is too quiet, right? Unworthiness. They say, oh my God, what the heck am I going to charge for my programs? Lack of focus. They would say something like, I'm too creative and I bounce from idea to idea and then I don't do it. I'm not worth it. They are making statements, say, I'm not worthy of this business world malarkey. Another one, and this is my favorite, I called it the technophobia. And this is internal and external. So for the technophobia, they will say things like, this online malarkey is just too hard. Tech is too hard. I don't like tech. I'm so frustrated with all this technology that I need to build my business. So these statements, these affirmations that I'm making right now, I keep them small as well. And these are internal challenges that are going through their mind. The other one is money blocks. So they'll probably say things like, where am I going to find my next paying client? I can't sell to save my life. And I've said that. I can't sell to save my life. I said that before myself. Or what if nobody buys from me? That's another one. What if nobody buys from me? And these are all scarcity around money. The other scarcity that I need to talk about is mindset. And this is huge. This is huge. When I started my business, I had huge amounts of scarcity around my mindset because I've lived all my life for corporate. I've worked in corporate all my life until I started my business. So yes, there were a lot of things that I was saying to myself. I'm a one-woman show. I don't have the money to hire anybody yet. This is another thing. And let me just tell you, the year that I started employing people to help me, that has just made a huge difference, right? Or they can say something like, I don't know where to find the right people to, I don't know how to find the right people to work with me. That's another thing. Yes, you don't know right now, but you can put things in place to find out, right? So the more these questions, these thoughts roam through your mind, the worse it is, because it makes you think small and not put things in place to move forward. Another one is fear of failure. Fear of failure, fear of success, that's another major internal challenge they go through. And they could say something like, what if I fail and have no choice but return to my 9 to 5? What if, what will my work colleagues say? What will my father think about me? I'm a lost cause, I'm a failure. This is all things that go through that mind right now, and that are not letting them see the light at the end of the tunnel. Another one, internal challenge, is all around social anxiety. There's an enormous world out there online, and it's difficult to stand your ground in such a noisy world, with fear that you're going to be criticized, you're going to be judged by others. So this is really, this is my last internal challenge, which they have statements like, what if I'm judged and criticized for what I do or say? What if people really think I'm completely nuts and crazy? And I sympathize with you, and I resonate with what you're going through right now, because I've been there as well. There was times that I just much rather prefer to hide and not show myself, because I was scared that people would criticize what I was saying. I remember my first video, it was hilarious. And I show it to my husband, which I shouldn't have. I did a recorded video, and there were like hundreds of hums. And when I showed it to my husband, and my husband turned around and said, there was a little bit too many hums in there. And what did I do? I didn't put my video anywhere, because I was conscious that, my hums are going to be seen in a different light to other people, right? The thing is that I was also stuck in the perfectionism. And then I realized that the more I was stuck in the perfectionism, the less I was showing up. So the day that I turned around and said, okay, better to do imperfect action than don't do anything at all. So now let's go on to the external challenges that they are facing. So these are outside of their control, and they are influenced by external sources. So it's not inner, it's outer. And this occurs when your mind is stuck in the how, and you're desperately seeking a solution. You perceive that building the foundations of a business is a one-fits-all strategy, and you believe that you should do the same as your competitors or people doing the same as you. But the reality is that nowadays, the way you run your business is flexible. It's your business, and it's your terms. Whatever you want to do in your business is your responsibility. So just do it. It's your business, your terms, right? It's a blank canvas. You can paint it the way you want to paint it. And not, like my philosophy, I suppose we could say that, is that a strategy that works for somebody else might not work for you. So let's sit down and see what strategy you will comfortably do and move you forward progressing, right? So yeah, so I mean, it's flexible. Just remember that every single strategy that you implement in your business is flexible, and the more you infuse your passionate personality into it, the better. The more chance people will be attracted to what you sell in your business. So let's go through some. I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 external challenges, right? The first one being cash flow. How do I get a consistent monthly income and more clients? This is what people are saying, right? My prospects, my clients, before they come to me, they are asking themselves this question. Outsourcing. How do I build my team, or how do I outsource some of my tasks? There is a lot of missing information that they don't know yet. Dependency is another thing. The majority of my coaches, they're independent coaches, but there's some sort of a dependency on their one-to-one practice right now, and to moving into a different business module. So for example, my one-to-one is starting to be exhausting. They say things like this, and I'm lacking the free time to do other things in my life. How do I transition from one-to-one to, say, a group module, Sophia? This is questions that they ask me all the time. Scalability is another external challenge. Coaches, some of the coaches that I work with, they're in a position in their journey that they've reached, and now they're thinking, how am I going to scale my business, right? They've been, for example, doing their one-to-one practice for quite a few years. And now they are thinking, what else can I do? How can I impact more people in one go? How can I scale my business? So they say things like exactly what I just said. How do I grow and scale my business? The other point is a learning curve. And this point is more about the information that they have to collate by reading books or attending programs, so that they can put in place the foundations that I talked to you previously. So they will ask things like, what marketing strategy shall I use for my business? One says one thing and the other says another. Which one shall I choose? So there's a lot of questions buzzing around their heads. What program shall I join? Will this program be a good choice for me? And the last one, but not the least, and the best one of all them, which, as I've already talked in the internal challenges, it's technophobia. The majority of my audience, and this is how I help them, is they don't know how to build their websites. They don't know how to build their membership sites. They don't know what tools to use, right? So they're asking also how to build an automated business. They hear that it's possible to earn money while they sleep, but how do you do that, right? And by the way, earning money while you sleep, you have to really have the foundations in place so that this will be possible. It's not going to happen. And I'm as honest as it comes, right? This is not going to happen if you don't have the foundations in place and also the system in place to make this possible to happen. So I hope this helped. And obviously, if you're watching the replay, please, if you have any questions whatsoever, let me know in the comments. And I will see you all in my next presentation. I hope you enjoy this. I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Bye for now.